Sonic Frontiers was just announced at the filming of this. And you know, that's pretty cool. Kind of puts me in the Sonic mood. I didn't realize I wanted Sonic, but Breath of the Wild. I actually didn't realize this is something I wanted. The game looks fun. And, yeah, I don't know. Looks fun. Anyways, let's talk about a Sonic game that a lot of people claim isn't fun. I've talked about it before. But I consider that, like anything I made pre-coming out, as old content. So let's do a very updated take on my opinions on Sonic R. And again, like in the previous videos I've done in this style, let me know if you like this in the comment below. Or in the comment section below, I should say. I cannot speak. This is stuff we play. Home of everything weird and retro, and let's talk about a game that fits that bill. Sonic R for the Sega Saturn. A game I actually played as a kid, believe it or not. But not in the Saturn. No one owned a fucking Saturn. No, I played it on the GameCube via the Sonic Gems collection. A collection I got because I had Sonic CD on it. Also had Sonic Fighters, which is meh. And Sonic R, a port of the PC version. So, I don't know exactly what that entails. I think there's some weirdness with transparency effects in the Saturn version compared to the PC version. But before we go on, what is Sonic R? So Sonic R is a Sonic the Hedgehog racing game. Shocking, I know. What makes this one weird is that, unlike in, say, Sonic and All-Stars Racing and whatnot, Sonic isn't in a car, he's on foot. In fact, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are all on foot. Amy Rose is there and she's in a car. And it's funny because she's the worst character in the game. Eggman's in a car-like thing. It has a missile you can launch for 10 rings. So this is kind of your setup. You can collect 5 special coins in each stage that let you face off against a new challenger and potentially unlock new racers, including Metal Sonic, of course, and the Tails doll, which is creepy and horrifying, but also would debatably make a pretty good Build-A-Bear. There are also Chaos Emeralds to collect. If you collect the 1 or 2 in each stage and get first place, trust me, if you don't get first place, the game will taunt you, then you unlock Supersonic. There are only 4 main courses, though you do unlock a 5th by getting first in all of the 4 main courses. And that's pretty much the gist. I can see why a lot of folks don't like this game. Like with Sonic 3D Blast on Saturn, this is a game that's best played using the Saturn analog controller, or, you know, on the GameCube using a, GameCube analog stick, or, via other means on a PC of your choice. Turning it is really wide, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's such a pain to turn. You gotta press the L or R triggers, while you're turning to do a tight turn. It's kind of weird to get the hang of. But once you do, I really do start having fun with this one, especially with a friend. And I know this because when I was hanging out at G Next Level's house a few weeks back, I was playing this with him and our friend Sam Triple S, and you know what, the game, yeah, it's fun multiplayer. So there's that, and of course as Sonic, Tails, pretty much any of the non-vehicle bound characters, you can jump, or spin. Spinning really is kind of a pointless move here. Sonic has a double jump, which is cool. It's the first time he ever got that in a series. I don't think we saw it again until, Sonic Colors? Knuckles can glide. He does, it feels a little unwieldy though. Like, I'm not super huge on, how Knuckles feels in this one. And then Tails can kind of fly, but it's more so just an extended glide, because you don't really gain altitude, you just kind of maintain altitude for like a couple seconds and slowly glide down. Tails is actually my favorite character to play as here. And then, Metal Sonic and whatnot are just clone characters. And if you get Supersonic, congrats, you've won the game. And you even get a special song that only plays when you race as Supersonic in the Radiant Emerald stage. Actually, I really like the stages. My biggest issue of Sonic R is that it's short. And in the era where Mario Kart 64 existed, it's really weird to see a racing game with literally just 4, and if you unlock one, 5 tracks. And I know why a lot of people don't like these tracks as well. It's interesting to find that during development, this was Traveler's Tales, who made this, funnily enough, along with Sonic 3D Blast, intended this to be a actual car racing game, because all the stages feel like they were intended as platformer stages. The only other game I've ever played that kind of takes this approach is Rayman Rush on PS1. Any of y'all ever play Rayman Rush? But yeah, no, that's kind of the thing with Sonic R. The stages, they don't feel like racing stages, they feel like platforming stages, and you can put all the ring gates, because yes, you collect the rings throughout the stages and use them to access these gates, where you need 20 or 50 rings to go through. But you can put all the ring gates and boosters and finish lines that you want. They feel like platforming stages, but the thing is, once you kind of get used to that, it's fun. What I'm saying is that it's a game that you kind of have to get used to and play a few rounds of. But there's a lot to love here. I mean, it looks great for a Saturn game, and I don't know why they put weather effects in stages and that change. Like, you can play through the grassy one or a radical city or whatever, and it can be raining or snowy or sunny or at day or at night. Just stuff like that. And they didn't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. If I didn't go over my sponsor yet, now is probably a good time to do that. Also, I just finished setting up my new setup, and what better way to ring in a new setup than a new mic? Yeah, before we get into talking more about Sonic R, today's video is literally made possible in part by Mayano. They sent me their Fairy Light microphone a few months back, and now I have their large diaphragm condenser microphone kit, the AU-A425 Plus. It's a really beefy setup that was a copy of Rhyme for PS4 falling off. So this is my first ever professional quality mic, so let's set it up. The mic sounds awesome. I'm really happy with it, and definitely check out the links in the description below if this sounds good to you, because I'm honestly really impressed. Thank you again, Mayano, for making this video possible. Let's get back to talking Sonic. So yeah, that's me doing another one of these, I guess, informal style videos. Let me know if y'all are enjoying these again. This is, I think, the third one I've done this style. I'm enjoying it. Again, retrospective and AOF aren't going away. Might even try doing some buying guides with some friends in kind of this informal style. This isn't the first time I've done stuff like this. What really made me start thinking about this is one of my old Pokemon retrospective I did with my friends Colin and Kenton blowing up. And for those wondering when another one of those is coming, hopefully someday. Colin actually is a teacher in Japan now, and we're still buddies and stuff, we're in way different time zones. I'm in the Midwest and he's in Japan. But yeah, maybe some more videos like that. Maybe I'll, even talk about Generation 5 with my husband, or at the very least the Sinnoh remakes. I'm kind of rambling a bit. I wanted to talk about Sonic R, and yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Feel free to join these folks on screen right now via YouTube membership or Patreon or Ko-fi for as low as $1 a month. Remember to stay classy, and I'll see you next time. I got so, sultry and stuff towards then. I'm really vibing with that, goodness. Oh, you know what? There is one more thing I want to add about Sonic R. Remember when Team Sonic Racing was announced and all they showed was the logo and everyone thought it was a Sonic R sequel? Way to crush my dreams, Sega. A new frontier in dreams crushing, if you will.